Hi everyone, my name is Aura, and this is the episode of Isles of Wonder where I tell you what works have influenced my own. Thank you to Falling Squares and Black Fox for this opportunity. Let's get this started. So, to really open up and broaden the scope here, I want to start with something that has probably influenced all of us that have seen or read and have loved it. To me, something that has been very influential and important is Lord of the Rings. And I'm just going to talk to you about Fellowship of the Ring because I don't think that there's a better way to sell this franchise than like by going back to basics. Number one, there are three things why I think that you should also consider this one of the most important and influential works of literature and art in the world. Number one, it has great characters, relatable, easy to empathize with. Gollum especially, I think there's a lot of Gollum and Smeagol in a lot of us, and definitely that duality has influenced a lot of my work and the way that I have gone about, my acting, my writing, and just life in general. Number two, the movies have Viggo Mortensen in it, and he is just beautiful, and he's nice to look at. And number three, I share a birthday with Bilbo and Frodo. So when you're thinking about me, when you're like, oh my God, it's Bestie Aura's birthday, you pull out the book or you put on the movie and you're like, September 22nd, what a holiday. Moving on. This is just me going to be selling to you the idea that if you do jump over the 2-inch subtitle barrier, you are going to expand your horizons so much more. And I think that what better way to do it than by watching Pan's Labyrinth, which I definitely watched way too young, but in a good or bad way, however you think about it, it made me the kind of artist that I am today, the kind of a scriptwriter that I am today, and the performances in it are so beautiful, so artistic, so soulful. It's full of, each performance in this film is full of authenticity, and you cannot, when you look at an actor and you don't see them as an actor but as a person in this story, you know that it's a good film when you believe it, when you know that this could have happened. For me, Pan's Labyrinth does that. Beautiful story, beautiful writing, but the performances in it just, they break you. So please consider actually jumping over that small hurdle, and I promise that you will find beautiful, wonderful, and influential things. Important pick that I feel like if you don't like these movies up to the third one, something in your head might need to get looked at by a professional. Pirates of the Caribbean, specifically at World's End. Why at World's End? Well, very simple. You get the most Davy Jones screen time. What's so great about Davy Jones? Absolutely everything. What's so great about every single Dutchman crew member? Absolutely everything. Shout out to Stellan Skarsgård for sitting down at the makeup chair for 9 hours every single day and being the only one who had practical SFX done on him. Practical effects are very important in our craft. I don't think that we could be at the place where we're at in CGI if we hadn't ventured into practical effects, and I think that they're worth appreciating. This film just gives me a completely different appreciation of them. Also, the writing's really good. Keira Knightley's very hot. The score is amazing. Cinematography out of this world, and I just think that, it's good. So I'm down to my last two picks, my desert island picks, things that I cannot live without. And I feel like one of them has to be what I'm about to show you. I want to preface this by saying that I am not a European apologist. I don't like these people, but I like them more than I like the British and the Spaniards. So I'm gonna show you. I am going with Notre Dame de Paris. And if you know French, it's important that you read this book in the original French. I don't think that you get a better version of Victor Hugo if it's not in French. Originally, I read this book because Hunchback of Notre Dame is my favorite Disney movie, but definitely read it too young, and it did give me a newfound hate for French Gothic architecture. I don't think that someone needs to talk so much about a building, but it's relevant here, so we forgive. However, I do think that this piece is very foundational for people that love to read, but love to read beyond just having a something to flip through. If you love to read for the love of the story, Victor Hugo's great for that, but this book in particular, I don't think that there is a more heartbreaking classic piece out there than this one. And it definitely changed my life when I read it. Changed my life even more so when I read it in French. Definitely recommend it. I think that I could not live without this. I don't think that I need to sell this movie to you because it is dearly beloved by every and anyone who has either read the source material or has interacted with it in some way or another, but it's just, I can't live without this. And that will be 2004 Hellboy by Guillermo del Toro. Why this one specifically? Because I think that Ron Perlman, Doug Jones, and Selma Blair do a fantastic job with their performances. Special effects, amazing. Practical effects, brilliant. The writing for this is amazing. Just thinking that Guillermo del Toro and Mike Mignola sat down and wrote the script together. They picked the cast together. Having the creator of something sit down with you and be able to put a film inspired by it together is just, I would love for that to happen to me. Now imagine Guillermo del Toro being the passionate man that he is. He got to do that for something that he already loved, even better. I can't live without it, and if you haven't seen it, if you haven't read it, I hope that if you think that you can live without it, you would at least give it a chance. This is my number one ever in the world. So, thank you. So, that was me just telling you a little bit about the things that I like that I think are influential to myself. And a good eye would have called the fact that all of that media, the main message is you're worth existing. Just for the fact that you breathe, you're worth existing. No shame in being who you are. Doesn't matter where you come from, what you look like, who you think you are. What matters is what you do with the cards that have been dealt to you. So, you know, maybe food for thought, maybe just something to waste time with if you want to watch a good movie, read a good book, play a good game. Anyways, see you later.